we have word from Ewan McGregor himself that production on Kenobi is going to start this March. He was on the Graham Norton show. That's like a UK talk show.
I love that show.
It's so good. And it's like, they've really found a way, didn't they, Pete, like to make that show, and Arzu too. It's so much more relevant than, like I would make the argument that late night in America has kind of gotten a little stale. And there's just something about the humor. Maybe it's like the British humor that makes that show flow so well. But he was brought in on the monitor, and he was talking about how age will play such a role in playing Kenobi this time around, because he had a lot of freedom in the prequels. He was a young guy. He was able to kind of use some of Alec Guinness's earlier films as inspiration, but he's a lot closer to Alec's age now. What do you think that will do for the maturity of this Kenobi that we're going to get in the desert that we assume is struggling with like PTSD? Pete, you're kind of that age too. What do you think about Ewan McGregor's acknowledgement of his age being a benefit for this round with Kenobi in the dune sea of Tatooine? Pete,
Ewan, who now? I'm sorry, I took the
Pete. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
Pete, you're drooling. Pete, okay, it's okay, it's all right. God love you.
I'm so glad Arzu's on the show now, so there's somebody that I like talking to.
That's Don't put me in the middle
that
of
was
this.
Pete. I just took him out. Pete Fletzer, what a great guy here on Beyond the Blast Doors Network. This guy, he's such a schmuck. I can't believe he did
They
that.
literally put me in the middle of this.
I put him. Yeah, I had to separate us. I had to separate the kids were arguing. We had to separate the boys. No, but really, Pete. I mean, you hear him talk about this, and we mentioned this 3 episodes ago. My God, it's just great to hear him actually talk about the production. But yeah, I'm looking for a more intimate story. And don't you think the real experience that he's gained with age will help him bring Kenobi back to the screen?
I think it will. I think it's also the comment that I liked the most out of the interview with Graham Norton was somebody said, I think it was Graham Norton himself, who said something like, "So the show is all about just you." And he alluded the question a little bit, and he said, well, it's not just me, which I thought was cool because there's all these rumors swirling about how the show's going to be put together. So I thought that was what I took away. That was the nugget I took away. But I do love the fact that he's approaching it. And what I think is the most important thing is I've never seen somebody so excited to get back to playing a character. He was excited to play Obi-Wan back in 1999, and he's excited to be back. And that speaks volumes, and that's what's got me psyched to see the show.
Arzu is someone who has been really open about your love-hate relationship with the sequel trilogy. And, we all kind of seem to grow to appreciate the prequels. What does that enthusiasm that Pete's talking about, what does that do for you and your excitement to see Ewan back as Kenobi?
Well, I never had a love-hate with the prequels. It was love from the beginning. And really, the love-hate with the sequel trilogy is just episode 9. I love the first 2. But
we appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, just let me be clear.
The record shows.
Only one thing I dislike.
Let the record show. That's right.
The excitement going into the Kenobi, I'm just so over the moon excited for this show. Like, you can kind of see it over my shoulder if you're watching. There's a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi on my wall. Like, I love this character. I love this is going to sound terrible. I love how sad he is. There is just so much potential for angst, for drama, for all this recollection of just what the last 15 years, I guess, of his life have been. So there's a lot of good potential for story there. And I'm really, really sort of excited to see that come to Disney Plus finally, because I feel like we're supposed to have it by now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's had so many different iterations, right? It's been well documented. Yeah. It was supposed to be a movie. Then they broke it down into TV scripts. There's been a lot of directorial changes. Deborah Chow now gets to focus on that, which is why we don't have her in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And I think that's what excites me the most. This is another series that we're going to be seeing produced within the volume, which is the technology that they used on The Mandalorian. So it'll be interesting to see how an experienced actor with green screen. Let's remember the prequels was like, what did they say? Like 70-something% was green screen. I mean, I always think of the Mustafar battle behind the scenes featurette, and they're just wigging out on cardboard boxes. And so he is someone that is used to not having a whole lot of environment to operate in. Imagine Ewan McGregor coming back to Star Wars, and now he is truly fully immersed in that world. I think that he's having fun now. I think it elevates when he gets into production. Again, that starts in March. Again, we don't know when that series will debut on Disney Plus. We don't know the number of episodes. We understand that it is a limited series. My guess, December 10th is the next investors call for Disney. I think this and a lot more Star Wars content gets confirmed, whether it's happening in 2021, 22, or 23, and maybe even beyond. But let's be honest with I was saying D23, but not for this year. With a lot of Disney's opportunities to engage audiences in person canceled because of COVID-19, I think a lot of people are maybe keeping an eye or keeping an ear rather open for that Disney investor call on December 10th. So we'll see what comes from there, but super excited about that. And of course, always excited to hear from Ewan. And I should make a clarification. He's 49 now. He'll be 50 when they start shooting. I should make... Oh, wait, what's this? Scotty J. Rose says Pete is old as time itself. That's rude. Matthew says, respect your elders, David. Well, he's my cohort. He's my cohort. John says, we love our gray hairs. I almost misread that. That would have been terrible. Apprentice Ewok says, damn, nice burn, David. All right, someone appreciates my humor. And Matthew H. says, Father Time is Pete's BFF. You are, I would call you a silver fox.
How did this happen tonight? What?
You know, last week we were getting like Mr. T photos with Pete's face photoshopped on them, so I'd rather
Pete
have this.
Flexer, yeah.
But I will say this, and I do agree with Gilster37. Great interview, Pete, with Kevin Anderson. Great interview that Pete you dropped last night. It is an incredible conversation. I've listened to it twice. After this show, if you haven't already, go check out that conversation. See, I can be a nice guy. I can be a nice guy. Hey, what do you think about Obi-Wan Kenobi starting shooting it in March? We're getting closer and closer. Definitely seems like it would need at least a year to be shot and do the post-production. I'm feeling like late 2022, early 2023, but you do have Cassian Andor you have to work around, The Bad Batch. You have Mandalorian season 3 and 4. A lot. That schedule, it's filling up for Star Wars fans. It's going to be interesting to see how this all fleshes out. Let us know in the live chat. Also tweet us at BTBD Star Wars.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.